We got the first part out of the way. So maybe Snyder can win me over with his second half. Maybe I was wrong with the first half, maybe the second half can totally bring this all together, and then hopefully I can fully understand Snyder's vision as a whole, and maybe this could, surpass that first film and hopefully be better. Notice how I said the word hopefully. That first one didn't get us off to a great start, so Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, is once again directed by Zack Snyder, with a screenplay once again by Zack Snyder, Johnstad, and Shay, and a story once again by Zack Snyder himself. Cast returns including Sofia, Boutella, Djimon, Hounsou, Skrein, Michiel, Huisman, Doona, Ray Fisher, and Anthony Hopkins. According to IMDb's plot synopsis, Korra and surviving warriors prepare to defend Veld, their new home, alongside its people against the realm. The warriors face their past, revealing their motivations before the realm's forces arrive to crush the growing rebellion. Though Part 1 I found to be average at best, I hope that Part 2 would be a better half than the first. I'm really hoping. But honestly, after watching Part 2, I pretty much felt the same way as I did with the previous film. The exact same way. Nothing changed, nothing. It just felt the exact same thing. And it's gonna feel like pretty much a redo of that first one, or at the very least, like just the same as the first one. I mean, honestly, guys, it doesn't really surprise me, but here are the positives that I found. The performances are decent. Again, just like with the first film, everyone does their best. I really think that the entire cast is giving it their all. I truly believe that. Sofia Boutella in particular, I think really gives it her all in this movie. Everyone does, and vice versa. Direction is admirable. Snyder once again shows how passionate about this world that he has created. He has an eye for how he wants this film to be. Again, this man shows his passion, his love of what he wants to make in this movie. You can really tell that the man truly feels as if he is making something that feels otherworldly. Once again, I admire that about him. Music is also good. Once again, composer Tom Hollenberg makes for an operatic feel to it. Still the best part of the entire film. At least I could say with both Rebel Moon Part 1 and Part 2, Tom Hollenberg's score, it's still there. Again, still derivative of other music, but it is at least something that I can say that is worth merit of listening to. The cinematography is still amazing. Snyder still has a great eye for capturing his vision with his camera work. Again, though, still not a fan of his color palette. I don't know what it is with most of his movies. His color palette has never impressed me. It has always looked garbage and gross on this whole gold, gray, yellow bullshit. But I do see the camera work. I still see his style through his camera work and how he sets up things. I can really tell this man is truly a visually styled director. And again, the production is incredible. Snyder really knows how to assemble a crew together to create his film. It really shows their hard work once again on the screen, putting all that effort into making this his vision as a whole. As much as I know that there is a director's cut that feels more of his vision, I'm just saying, like, the look and everything put together does feel like his vision. But still, this film suffers from the exact same problems as Part 1, so let's just get into the negatives. The story is still dull. No matter what, the plot gets messier as it gets to the end. For an action-packed second film, it still doesn't deliver. I'm surprised in how much, again, just like with the first movie, how bored I was with this movie. There's nothing exciting that I get latched onto. I just kind of still feel like it's meandering and it's just dilly-dallying around to just later on blow some shit up. But even then, I don't think it's enough. And for this story to be dragged out, really didn't need to. The action sequences are, again, bland. It feels still generic and sluggish on how it's presented. With this one, I really tried to enjoy it, but it just was not enough. I give credit at the very least that production of it all does come to a head with regards to how everything is, chaotic and frantic and loud and bombastic. So I give credit on like the technical aspect, but on that end, as the action stands, it's just it really is not enough for me, you guys. The writing is still not good. The way characters interact with each other feels dry and lacks chemistry with one another. And again, it still comes off as pure cringe. Snyder's writing, to me, just reads more like a teenager in high school that hasn't grown up. He still kind of is in that angsty phase. And I'm really getting sick and tired of how he plays with characters and how they interact and how they talk to each other. It just feels pure cringe, as if it's like an anime. But I bet you even people who love anime would even recognize that anime has some good moments of scenery or characters. This doesn't have any of that. Pacing and runtime is off. Every scene feels dragged out, especially when the heroes have a heart-to-heart moment. That, I think, kills the pacing overall. With a runtime of 2 hours and 2 minutes, it still should have been less than that. If you want to wrap this up, just wrap it up, man. Because, again, Snyder just still dilly-dallies what he makes. He just doesn't know when to stop. He just keeps going and going and going and going. He just doesn't know when it's enough. Even with this being less than the first movie with its runtime, he just still meanders. He just stalls for time. Again, the slow-mo is so annoying. Anytime Snyder uses slow-mo, I just get immediately frustrated with him incorporating it into the movie. Immediately. Anytime this man ever uses slow-mo, I'm just slamming my head against the table, the wall, somewhere, just saying, please stop. Stop what you're making. Please don't do this. I just wish he just not use the slow-mo altogether, but this man loves slow-mo. He loves it so much, he would rather die than give up that style. Not much changed between these films for me. Snyder really wants to make this his Star Wars, but I might as well just go watch Star Wars or any other movie instead of this, if you ask me. Maybe Snyder fans really enjoy this, but let me tell you, I'd rather go watch Star Wars. Yes, people who complain about Disney Star Wars, I'd rather watch that than this. Because this, you guys, I just really don't see this series going any further, because he has talked about making more of these, and I don't see it. If his Army of the Dead series got shelved, definitely, and just is never coming to fruition, why should I see this being a thing? It's funny because this is 2 parts. They're pretty much the same, but I'm just still going to say I'm giving Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, a 5 out of 10. They are both average, bland science fiction films that I feel like aren't worth time or effort. If you ask me, again, if you want to watch it, it is up to you. You might find enjoyment. I'm just coming from a place of I've seen Zack Snyder, and while I do think he is a visually talented filmmaker and knows how to pull an ensemble crew together for a production and all the technical sides apart, the man just is not super creative with regards to his writing. I'm sorry. I have to be as frank as I can be for myself. This man just is not good with regards to writing or storytelling, if you ask me. Aside Army of the Dead, but everything else I have seen him do, it's just not been great. Now, we are done with the April films. Now we are moving on to the May films. The films that I saw in May, starting off with The Fall Guy. So yes, look forward to those reviews and other movie TV show reviews coming soon.